Hi guys, it's Erin, and I'm not really anybody that should ever be on a face video, but here we are. Um, I don't know how to do like makeup or anything, but you know, I've taken a shower and brushed my teeth, so hi! Um, I watched Kitty Scrapper's video and it wasn't like you had to be tagged by anybody, it was more like, hi, I want to say, you know, see people, so hi! Hi Kitty, hi everybody else. Sirius is on my lap, that's why I'm petting something on my lap, but sit up Siri. There he is. It's so he doesn't get in the way. Okay, I'm going to answer the questions and not just ramble at you because, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, I like to ramble. And if you hear my other dog because, you know, he's loud, I'm sorry. So she says, why did you start your channel and start doing process videos? I had my channel for a long time. If you look at my first video, it's like this one from the greeting farm that I did when I was on DT with them, and it was basically me just coloring, and the camera, it would take a picture every 30 seconds, and so that's kind of how we put it together as like a time-lapse video, and it was okay. I mean, it was easy to write on because they were just photos, but it wasn't like great or anything. And I did a room tour video because I really like watching room tour videos. I don't know why. I think it's because mine is so small, but I like seeing other people's stuff. As long as I don't have to like try and create in that room, I'm okay. I have a minimalist complex, so like if I try and create a bunch of things, it's like really creepy. But or create with a bunch of things around me, it's really creepy. But yeah. So I did that, but I didn't really have the capability to do process videos, and I'm the kind of person where if I can't do it exactly right, I don't want to do it at all. Which is kind of weird for a creative person because I'm used to screwing up all the time. It's just a matter of like, I didn't want to screw up when other people could see me. So I didn't really start doing them until just this year, actually. It's just been since the beginning of the year. I kind of had a goal in mind to try and start a channel, and the reason that I even had the idea, because I've been very anti-video for a long time, the reason that I had the idea was because of Shamel. And if you don't know, I have cystic fibrosis, and if you see this video cut, it's probably because I'm going to cough and I'm going to have to cut that out because it's really gross. You've probably heard in my other videos, and it's really not a good visual, so we're going to cut that out if it happens. Probably will. Me talking for 4.5 minutes is surprising. Anyway, so I was really sick, and I had spent the day in bed. You know, I had to spend the day in bed, and I got my new phone, and it was a smartphone. It is a smartphone. It's the same phone. And I ended up purchasing Shamel's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy from 2Piece, and so like that was 2012 or whatever. And I had been very anti-video, but something about, of course, not being able to get up, not being able to move, not being able to do anything, but still wanting to, you know, be creative or whatever, it kind of said, you know, well, why don't you just lay in bed and watch videos? And so I watched all the videos for that class, and then I continued to watch the videos of, you know, Glitter Girl, and I discovered Tracy Banks, Mercy Tierra. I discovered Nicole Jones, and I realized that what I like to do is actually put the videos on my screen there, and then, you know, I have this other screen. I have two screens because I'm a video gamer, and that's a background from Elder Scrolls Online, if you don't know. That's my character right there. Her name is Trinity. I'm such a dork. Anyway, so I put the video on that screen, and then I can still see my computery stuff on the other one. And I will sit there and scrap. And usually when you see my videos, one of the reasons that I do voiceovers is because Nicole Jones or Tracy or somebody else, you know, even Kitty, like pretty much anybody that I watch is sitting there doing her audio while I'm scrapbooking. So I kind of have to make sure that I record over that because, you know, it would be a little redundant and have nothing to do with my layout. But yeah, I found that it was a way to get company. And if you don't know anything about cystic fibrosis, it's basically, I really don't have much of an immune system. And so being out in public, going to crops, talking to people, having friends in real life, it's all dangerous. So yeah, I mean, even my husband, if somebody comes into his office that has a cold, if he may be able to fight it off and not get sick, but he can still, you know, bring it home and get me sick. So that's how kind of boy in a bubble I am. And so being able to watch videos and stuff was a way that I could be at a crop and scrapbook with someone without having to, you know, be with them. And so I thought, I'm watching all of these videos, and I probably should give back to the YouTube community, as it were. But I didn't really have the capability to make it good. Like I said, I didn't want to do it if I couldn't do it good. So I ended up taking my husband's 5D Mark II, the Canon actual just camera, and it does HD photos, which I wasn't going to film if it wasn't in HD, because who the hell wants to look at that? So there was that. So it's every video I have is in 1080p. But the problem is it's a $5,000 camera, and I was terrified that I was going to break it or drop it or something, and he wouldn't be able to do his stuff. I would break his lens, and God knows what would happen. So I only filmed a couple of those, and those are the first use it up videos where it was basically me just saying, look at the layouts that I did, because it had this thing where once it reached the file size limit, which is 4 gigs, it's 4 gigs for everything. But since it's just a regular camera, once it reached that 4 gig limit, it just stopped filming. And it doesn't tell you that it stops filming, it just stops. So I was kind of like limited in if I could scrapbook comfortably, if I could color comfortably, and I didn't want to do that. So it wasn't until I made a couple of those videos and decided that I liked making videos and decided that it was good that I went ahead and got this little camera, which is a Canon video camera. I'll write it down if you want to know, but it's very cute. Sorry, I'm all red now because I had to cough. Yeah, cutting. So yeah, then I got a video camera because I don't do anything unless I know that I'm actually going to use it. So it took, a couple videos for me to say, yes, I like doing this. No, it's not annoying. It's not something that'll take away from my crafting time. So I can go ahead and do it, So I did that. Sorry, I need something to drink. Coffee. I drink coffee because I have ADHD, and caffeine is a natural controller of ADHD because it's an upper, which for someone with ADHD is a downer. So yeah, I can't take ADHD meds, so that's basically the only way I can control it, which is why this video is going to be very rambling because I haven't had much coffee today. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I started my channel, and that's why when I finally got a real camera that I could sit here, I mean, it's only like £2, and it really wasn't that expensive. It was like $200, I think, on Amazon. And so I'm not terrified to use it and drop it, and, what if something happens like I was with my other camera? So, with my husband's camera. He takes landscape photography as his, official hobby. So he has all the, nice kit for that. And I didn't want to destroy his hobby by, trying to do mine. So I have his tripod here, but he can obviously take it off and make that work. We don't need bunches of tripods. So that's when I decided to do process videos, and I could do live coloring videos and stuff like that without having to worry that I was going to get cut off, or, it didn't make me all twitchy about what was going to happen. And I just used Movie Maker on my computer. It came with it. Windows comes with it. So, it takes me like 10 minutes to to edit the video at the most, make the images or whatever. So I can do it so simply that it made it fun. And like I said, I wanted to give back to the YouTube community that had been scrapbooking with me without even knowing that they were scrapbooking with me and keeping this, crazy sick person company. So yeah, that's why I decided to do it. And let's see, for the second question, I have them all on my phone. The second question is, what is your scrapping style at the moment and how has it changed? Gosh, I probably should have thought of these, before I started filming. I don't really know what my scrapbooking style is. I think it's very simple. They say on the message boards, what are your little details that you like to add? What are your signature things? And I can never really come up with anything because I don't really know. I've just started putting in more like pre-cut die cuts, but most of the time you'll see me using my punches, like circle punches or heart punches or something like that. I did just this year get a bunch of washi tape, so I'm trying to include a bunch of washi tape, especially on my Project Life. So I guess that's the style is now. This year my Project Life is all pocket pages where it didn't used to be, so that has changed. It was a 12 by 12 layout, and I finally, I guess, made peace with the pocket page look. It's still not one of my favorites, but I'm not as vehemently against it as I was before, which was funny because I expressed that on 2Ps and people were like, how do you not like pocket pages? And I'm like, I don't know, I just don't like them. I'm still not like crazy in love with them, but it does make it really fast, and I guess if you're trying to do something fast, then it helps. And yeah, it kind of works for me when I'm doing Project Life, just because I have a lot less to think about. And I'm making my own cards, so it's more individual anyway. So it's kind of like I'm making a layout. I'm just cutting it into little pieces. But yeah. As far as my style, yeah, I think it's a lot of pattern paper. I think it's a lot of layering. And, you know, I always add enamel dots as a little finish. I have a lot of enamel dots, so it helps. Starting to lose my voice. I'm sorry. You know, I can look at a layout and be like, well, I mean, I use this, that, and the other, but basically when I'm crafting, what I like about it is I can just sit there and turn my brain off. So I don't really have to think about it, and then afterwards things just happen. So I'm like, oh, look, a layout. So it's not like I have a process, you know. That's why I have a hard time doing the voiceovers and explaining my process and blah, blah, blah. I don't have one. I'm not really thinking. I'm just listening to whatever video I'm watching and listening to them do their thing, and I'm turning my brain off and doing whatever I want, because my life is very stressful, and so being able to just ignore stuff for a while is really helpful. And I swear, I'm not going to completely complain through this entire video. So how has it changed? Well, I used to use, back when I started in 2007, I started with Club Scrap because I used to watch Sandy Genovese on TV, and I saw her scrapbook, and I'm like, I don't really like it, but I kind of like the idea of scrapbooking. And then my friend took me to Ben Franklin Crafts in NorCal, which is where we used to live. It was in Roanoke Park, I think. I think it's officially Roanoke Park, still there. It's Roland Plaza. It used to be the big barn of crafts. Now it's all shoes. But before it was crafts. And it was really cool because this is giant barn building right off of the freeway. And just chock full of crafts. Any craft you could possibly imagine. And we're walking down this aisle. I used to basically trail behind her like a puppy. When she would go into craft stores, and mostly, you know, she used to work at Joann's. Mostly she was there for like fabric and stuff, because she's a quilter and she makes clothes and all this cool stuff. And sorry, my shirt's all weird. She makes clothes and all that stuff, and I could never do that. I thought about quilting, but I could never do that. And then we're walking down this aisle of stickers, and I'm like, why is there an aisle of stickers? What is this aisle of stickers for? I love stickers, because we were the girls that had the big sticker book and used to trade them and all that stuff when we were, you know, in elementary school or something. I've known her since I was 5, so we've been friends for a long time. So I would, I love stickers, and I still love stickers. How can I use these stickers on things? And she's like, oh yeah, that's scrapbooking. And I'm like, please tell me about this scrapbooking thing. And so, you know, I spent about $100 on an 8x8 album and so many Disney stickers, because, you know, back then they were like $5 each for those Jolie stickers or whatever. And Ben Franklin did not have the discounts that we do now. So yeah, it wasn't cheap, but I made my first album because Disneyland is like huge in myself and my husband Mike's life, because the reason that we met was because my friend Katie, she was the one, you know, the one I'm talking about, the crafter. She introduced us because he was kind of like an exchange student for her and her family. And she said, oh yeah, my stepbrother has a thing down in Anaheim, a hockey tournament, and we're all going to Disneyland. Do you want to come? And my parents had taken me to Disneyland every year from the time that I was 7 until the time that I was 12 or 13, but we hadn't been able to go. So I was 17, and I'm like, yes, now I want to go. So my parents let me go. I expected her to be picking me up from school, and here's this guy. And it was Mike, and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, that's basically how I met him, and we stayed together. So she introduced me to scrapbooking and my husband. So yeah, I totally love her. I've gone way off track. Oh my God, I told you this was going to be rambling. Way too much about my life. Anyway, so how has my style changed? I went from doing that 8 by 8 thing and making my own stuff and it being absolutely terrible, to seeing this kit club that's like, here, it'll tell you how to do everything. We'll even tell you how to make the layouts and everything like that. So that's how I started with scrapbooking, was Club Scrap. Now, I really don't think that that was a good idea for me, because I almost never liked those pages, but I thought that was what scrapbooking was and how you were supposed to do it. So I just kept doing it that way, even though I didn't like it. I just kept being like, okay, well, here are these, you know, they have 12 by 12 paper that they make themselves. They make everything themselves. And they put really big patterns on the back, but by the time that you put layers on it and your photos and everything, and I used to use a lot of photos, like 4 or 5 or 6 photos on a page. Once you put the photos on there, you have no idea what the pattern is on that paper. So all their pattern paper is so subtle that I I never really connected with it. And so that is one of the big things that's changed, because I'm very into patterns. I'm very into layering of the patterns and using a lot of them. And I'm very into bright and bold colors. And I never really got that from Club Scrap. So I went through this whole evolution of finally actually liking my pages. The worst part about that is that I really want to redo every single thing that I've done since, you know, except for like from 2011 until now. Which is okay, because there's like a 2007, 2008 break in there. Oh, I didn't start scrapbooking in 2007. It was 2004. I'm sorry. I checked. It was July 2004. Okay, so I've been scrapbooking for 11 years now. That's a long time. So yeah, it's safe to say that my scrapbooking has evolved completely. But the point is that now, and the last couple of years, I actually like my pages. And I like what I'm doing, so I think that's the most important thing versus what I'm putting on the page and stuff like that. And I don't tend to follow trends, but I will pick up the ones that I like, so I'm sort of trendy. But mostly I think of myself as a simple scrapbooker, and I'm definitely a minimalist as far as it goes to, you know, collecting things and stuff. And, you know, the size of my room, it's obviously not a room. This is a corner in my kitchen. On the other side, I'm actually staring at my stove right now because I'm looking this way. So yeah, I'm actually staring at my stove and my and my dishwasher, which just went off. So yay. Okay, so the next question, because we're never going to get through these if you let me just ramble like this. Stop letting me ramble. You people who have no control over what I'm doing at all. All right, what is the third one? It is, what project have you been meaning to start for a while now? I know a project I've been avoiding. And it's my Disney World album, and you probably saw it in the National Scrapbooking Day video. But yeah, I've really been avoiding that, and I need to do it. I have a smaller album that I was going to do for the road trip that we took to get there, because like I said, cystic fibrosis, I can't fly, because basically all that recirculated air, it's a guaranteed lung infection for me. I'm going to leave that in, but I'm sorry. So we have to drive across country if we want to go, and Mike's parents live across country, so we actually do have to go occasionally. And they moved to North Carolina, which is, you know, pretty close to Disney World, so my husband's like, okay, you know what, we should probably have our honeymoon, so we went to Disney World. 10 years later, we have our honeymoon. Literally 10 years. We were there for our actual anniversary. But so that album isn't finished. And the road trip album accompanying that isn't finished. You know, the stuff that doesn't include Disney World, just the getting there and the, you know, being in his parents' house and moving them out of that house, which is why we traveled there in the first place, was to help them move and everything. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that I really have to get to. Redoing my albums, I would really like to do, because like I said, I am very minimalist. And before, when I started scrapbooking, I thought, like, legally you had to just scrapbook every photo that you've ever taken. And I started scrapbooking because my husband is a photographer, and I didn't want to have to hover over somebody looking at our photo albums and tell them things. So I wanted those things to be included, but I also wanted all the photos that he liked to be included too. So basically what I wanted was an annotated photo album, but I actually just made a scrapbook, and I made way too many and too much, and it basically needs a lot of editing. And I think that if I take it down a notch and make it smaller, it'll help. We live in a very small house right now. Even if we move, we probably won't have a whole lot of space for 70,000 albums. And I know Shamel's talking about, you know, she and her husband just had that baby, and she already had 70 albums before then. Well, we're never going to have any kids. Nobody's going to inherit these albums. So it's basically just going to be, you know, him and me, our fur kids, our dogs, and just albums, wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling albums. Because you can't just keep scrapbooking like that. I can't. I mean, maybe somebody can, but I can't personally, for my sanity. So I would like to do a lot of editing. So I think that would be the big all-encompassing project. And it's definitely something I'm afraid to do because it's a lot of work. And I still have to fill in holes of the years that I want to actually do and stuff that I remember. I have a hard time remembering things. I can't even remember back to when Mike and I met. I mean, I know the highlights, obviously, but actuals, there's a lot of confirmation that I need from Mike, basically. I only have about a 2 to 3 year memory, which is really pathetic. But yeah, so if I don't scrapbook those things, and if I don't scrapbook them right away within those 2 to 3 year window, I'm just going to lose it. And then I'm never going to be able to scrapbook it, because I don't scrapbook unless I have journaling. I'm that kind of person. There, see? What is my style? Very journaling centric. The only reason that I scrapbook is so I can journal, because I'm a writer. You may have even seen my tattoo. It says, that's upside down, but it actually says author, and I checked. Trust me, I know somebody that writes Chinese and Japanese. It's both in the same language. Or it's the same in both languages. There you go. So yes, I checked. It says author because I am an author. I'm a writer, and no, you can't read anything I've written because I haven't published it yet. But so yeah, that's why I scrapbook, and my scrapbooks are very journaling centric. So basically, I want to add more journaling to my old pages and take away pictures. So that's the biggest project that I have. Look, I answered a question properly. Okay, the next one. What collection would you save from your burning craft room, new or old, or what collections do you wish that you still owned? Gosh, that one's hard, because like really, things that I'd save from my burning craft room are Copics, those over there. See those? That's what I'd save, because A, they're expensive, and B, they're pretty, and C, I can pretty much do anything. The other thing I would save is my stamps, because also expensive. Aside from that, as far as paper, I don't know, because I'm not the kind of person that keeps a lot of paper, and I try and have a lot of turnover. So Kitty in her video was saying, assuming that you've gotten all your scrapbooks out, and you're thinking about what else should I get while the firemen are on their way, like it would change just depending on what I've recently gotten. Like right now I would say my Pretty Little Studio stuff, because I just got it. Like that's the most recent stuff that I got in. Or the most recent stuff from CHA, because that's the stuff I like the most. So we're talking about like Simple Stories, I Am, which I just used most of that yesterday. So it's already on a layout, which means it would already be out of the house. So because I have such high turnover for my stuff that I don't tend to keep it. What do I wish that I still owned is a different question, though. But I also don't know that. There were lines that I have loved, and there are lines that I wanted to buy again. There's like Dear Lizzie's Neapolitan I actually did buy again, which was probably stupid because it was a paper pad and I couldn't pick which ones I want. So yeah, all I have left, the papers that I didn't want when I bought them in the first place. Let's see, Amy Tan's sketchbook, the original one, I really like that line. I used it a lot. Actually, 2013, I bought the paper pad, and my entire 2013 project life is done with that paper pad. So, I've used it a lot. It'll be in my album, so I wouldn't have to rescue it. And I really don't want it back, because that's a lot of paper, and I've used it a lot. I'm saying too much. I'm very sorry. But yeah, I'm thinking, so what else am I supposed to use? I don't know. Because if I liked it, I've used it. And there are stuff that I'm still attracted to. There's a line by Echo Park that was all boys. And I think it was like their For the Record 2, and it was like green and blue, or green and blue and yellow, or something like that. And I really liked it, and I used a bunch of it, and I was very happy that I finished it, and I wanted to buy more. And I keep saying, don't buy more. And we go to the expo, and they have it there, and I'm like, oh, buy more. No, don't buy more. You've used it, look at it in your albums, and that's it. Because once you buy more, then there's stuff that comes out, and it's like, okay, well, I have the new stuff, and I have the old stuff, and I want to use the new stuff, so you don't use the old stuff because you've already used it. So, like I said, minimalistic, try and just use it and be done with it. So, that's my very stupid answer to that question. What paper in your stash do you regret buying? Pretty much everything from Club Scrap. I still feel guilty about it because I bought a lot of stuff. And like I said, I thought that was the way to scrapbook. And I know that there's no rules. I knew that there was no rules from the beginning. But there had to be some sort of formula as to the way people were doing it and why they were doing it and how they were doing it. And I was trying to find that. And it seemed that Club Scrap was going to teach you how to do that, because they have like an overarching idea about stuff. They have, the whole assembly line scrapbooking, which is basically, sketches. And making the sketches ahead of time before you put, pictures to paper. So they've got that whole idea, and I thought that this was the best way for me to enter this hobby, and it really wasn't. So yeah, I thought that that was the way to do it, and I bought pretty much everything that they had ever done. And I ended up trying to keep it for years. I ended up trying to work with it for years. The paper is really high quality, but it's so against my style, it didn't make any sense for me to buy it. And so, just so much money spent on that. I think I regret anything where I was chasing what you were supposed to do. So, you know, the stuff in the first couple of years where I bought the Caluzzle stuff or whatever it is. I never used them. I never needed those die cuts, and, you know, total waste of money. Anything that's in my stash right now, I can't really pinpoint as to me not wanting. There's stuff that I was given that I could maybe do without, like, I get given a lot of Halloween paper because I really like Halloween, but I'm also really, really, really picky about my paper. So when I get it given to me, I have a hard time, and it's not that I don't appreciate gifts. I do. It's just I appreciate money gifts where I can pick it up myself. So yeah, that, I mean, that's really better for me. But that's not really a regret. It's more like a challenge. Like, it's harder for me to use. Like, I don't like flair, so I don't like the fact that I got it a lot in the Scraptastic Life Pages kits. But I'll use it somehow. I'll figure it out. You know, it's like a challenge, but I'll figure it out. As far as actual regrets, I mean, I probably shouldn't have bought 6x6 pads because I don't go for them enough. But again, it's not that I won't use it. It's just I could have saved that money or just bought regular paper. Or maybe, you know, sometimes that is the better option between the 12x12 and the 6x6. Just need to actually be paid attention to more. And it's just a matter of, I have them, I have to have another place to store them. That bugs me because I'm trying to keep my space very, very small. My desk is 6.5 feet long, and I think that that's too big. And then the rest of my stuff is kept on a 2x4 Expedit. So if everything fits on there, I'm happy. But when I have to create extra spaces for things, like, I really want to join Hip Kit Club because I watch Arit Landgraf and I watch a bunch of other people that use it, and I think Nicole Jones is using them now. I'm actually catching up with her, so I'm kind of behind. She's still on Scraptastic kits right now where I am. But I think she has them too, and I look at them and they're so pretty, but they have alpha stickers, and I don't use alpha stickers, and if I get given alpha stickers, I hate it. So it's like, that's a lot of alpha stickers, and I would regret purchasing that because I would have alpha stickers and I would need another place to put them, so I don't like that. So yeah, that bums me out. My dog is trying to fall out of my lap. So small, and yet takes up so much space. Okay, so I did that. Where do you want to take your channel in the next year? Well, since I just started, I'm already extremely surprised about how many people are watching me. I am so grateful for every single one of you. I'm almost at 600 people now, and that is just astonishing because I don't really promote it much. I've had a blog for years, you know, www.erinkelly has been mine for at least 15 years now. And I mean, I've gotten traffic, but of course, once 2Ps died, pretty much all the traffic died. And so I'm very surprised that, you know, 500 and something people now actually want to see me and actually want to get emails when I post videos and stuff like that. I'm really surprised. I'm really grateful, and I'm so happy when I get comments. And I hate the fact that I had to change over my channel, and so my first videos, it looked like I didn't respond to anybody's comments, because I did. It was just on the wrong profile. I have it fixed now, but it looks like, you know, wow, she just started doing stuff, and she got her all, you know, the videos and everything, and people are commenting, and she just blew them off. That's not what happened. I swear, those people were replied back to. So yeah, I'm extremely grateful for that, and pretty much I'm just grateful for anything that happens. Like I said, I'm just kind of this sad and alone sick person making videos in my own house to entertain myself while my husband's at work, because obviously he has to go to work to help the sad and alone sick person stay here. Stay here safe and sequestered where I can't get sick by other people. So the fact that other people would want to watch that, the fact that people have been kind enough to tell me that I have a good voice for this. I know I don't have a good face for this, but I'll try not to do these more. the fact that, you know, people have been kind enough to ask for what they want to see and give me ideas and have been so encouraging. It's really amazing. I am so grateful for everything. And as far as where I would want it to go, I would just kind of want to continue with what I'm doing. I like how my videos are done because I did spend a lot of time watching everybody else's videos, so I kind of got what you're supposed to do. And like I said, they're all 1080p, so I can't really up the res or anything like that. I would kind of like to change to get one of those long arm things so that I'm basically scrapbooking in this little triangle of my tripod. You know how the tripod's legs go out? I'm basically scrapbooking in, you know, under the legs, and the camera's shooting straight down. So I would like one of those extender arms so that I don't have to do that and risk knocking you guys around all the time, because that would be terrible if you're sitting there watching a video and all of a sudden it goes like this. So yeah, that would be bad. But yeah, aside from that, I just basically want to continue talking with you guys, and anything that you want to see, go ahead and comment about it, because I'll do my best to do it. I have things planned. I have, Lord knows how many Project Life Sundays I have coming up. I have up to process 29 filmed already because I did 4 layouts this weekend. So yeah, I mean, I'm already way behind in posting everything. I'm trying to post like every other day, just not overload the channel, but I might have to go every day just because I have too much ahead now. So yeah, I want to stay within that and hope that I stay creative, because, you know, that video game over there takes a lot of my time. It's surprising it won't let me go. It started March 30th of 2014, and I have played I haven't played less than 4 hours a day since then. So that's a long time, and that's more than I've ever put into a video game ever. That is a lot of time. We're looking at 3,000 hours by now into that game, and that's just wow. And there's a bunch more games, and I'm just a crazy gamer, so you're gonna have to put up with that. I don't know why this keeps going to my camera. It's not like I'm going to take a picture of you. I'm going to look at this thing. And it says, who would you love to collaborate with on a scrapbooking YouTube challenge? That one is a bit hard because I don't play well with others. I'm like, you know, like I said, I'm a loner, so I don't play well with others, but and challenges are kind of hard for me because I'm very like free with my creativity. Whatever my brain says, hey, let's make this today, that's what I'll do. But I think I could do something like, you know, use these amount of products, use these kind of products, or like say we all had the same kind of paper and we had to work with it. That would be a fun challenge. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that if somebody wants to do that with me. I wouldn't mind doing like a mixed media challenge or something, because I do those, and like I like the stuff that Irit Landgraf does, so it'd be cool to work with her. But yeah, I don't really want to like say a bunch of people, because I do watch just a general ton of people, and I wouldn't want to leave anybody out. I'll work with anybody that wants to do anything, but more of those general challenges, like, you know, or a time challenge. I'm really good at those. If you can tell, my videos are short because I can't make myself scrapbook for an hour, so I guess that would be a challenge you could do. Hey, Aaron, scrapbook for an hour. Okay, can I mess around on the internet while I'm making the layout? You'll just see my blank hands just standing there or sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, this video has gone on really long. It's like 35 minutes now, so I'm going to shut up. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I'm subscribed to almost everybody out there. I can subscribe to more if you want me to subscribe to you. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go put up more videos.